Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about the shorter version of This Is Fate. Preeta begins to feel that Karan and Arjun have something in common and she shares her feelings with Shriti. And Rishabh was able to convince Preeta that they should go to Arjun's house to apologize to him for the way Preeta slapped him at the hospital. So let's continue. Rishabh and Preeta get to Arjun's house so that Preeta can apologize to him for slapping him at the hospital. Rishabh asks Preeta if she is nervous for this small thing, but she doesn't need to be worried because he is with her. Preeta says that she is not worried because Rishabh is with her, so she need not to worry about anything. Rishabh gets surprised hearing Preeta and he tells her that he is happy seeing the trust that Preeta has on him. Raja and his men are standing outside Arjun's house and Raja scolds Vishu and Bitu because they worked for Arjun without getting their full payment. Raja tells his men that they are useless, but Vishu says that he would have taught a lesson to Arjun if Arjun did not have a gun with him. Rishabh and Preeta comes there. Rishabh sees the goons, but he couldn't recognize that they were the same goons that caused his accident. Rishabh and Preeta enters Arjun's house. Vishu tells Raja that Rishabh is the same man that Arjun asked them to kill, but now the same Rishabh has now come to Arjun's house. Raja asks his men to keep quiet and they all leave from there. Inside the house, Arjun asks Anjali that why is she looking at him like that, and he shows his ring to Anjali, saying that he is engaged to Nidhi, her sister. Anjali says that Arjun should stop joking because these guys are goons and they are dangerous and they can do anything. Arjun says that the gun that he has is a real gun and he would have killed the three of them with a single bullet. Arjun asks that why is Anjali so afraid when she knows how to fight martial arts. Anjali says that she has not practiced her fighting recently, so how would she have fought with all the goons? Anjali asks Arjun to give the goons their balance or else they would come back again for their money. Arjun says that he will not give them any money because he is not afraid of them. Meanwhile, Bitu refused to follow Raja, saying that Arjun is better than Raja, so he would like a boss like Arjun. Raja slaps Bitu and he tells Vishu to drive the car. Raja thinks that his boys are trying to leave him now because of Arjun, so he will not spare Arjun. Inside, Arjun tells Anjali that he feels like something good is going to happen today. Just then, there is a knock on the door. Anjali tells Arjun that maybe Raja and his men are back again, and Arjun smiles, saying that it would be fun. Arjun goes to open the door and he was shocked to see Preeta. Arjun noticed that Preeta is raising her hand just as he opened the door, and Preeta explains that she was about to knock on the door again, thinking that the doorbell is not working. Rishabh was on a call and he ends the call and comes to Preeta. Anjali asks Rishabh if everything is fine. Rishabh nods at her that everything is fine. Rishabh holds Preeta's hand and they enters the house, while Arjun feels jealous seeing Rishabh holding Preeta. Arjun asks Anjali to give Faluda to the guest. Preeta remembers that Faluda is Karan's favorite and she tells Anjali that water is enough and Anjali goes to bring the water. Rishabh tells Arjun that Arjun must be wondering why they came to his house. Arjun tells Rishabh that he doesn't like to be involved in Preeta's matter because Preeta can slap him anytime, and Preeta looks at Arjun in shock. Rishabh tells Arjun that they came to apologize to him because of the way Preeta slapped him at the hospital. Rishabh says that Preeta is disturbed nowadays and that is why she reacted like that. Preeta tells Arjun that she misunderstood him and that was why she reacted in anger. Arjun says that Preeta slapped him twice, first at the party and the second time at the hospital. Arjun asks Preeta that what was his mistake. Rishabh tells Arjun that they had their reasons to react like that, so Arjun should just please forgive them. On the other hand, Raki is at the Lutra house standing in the hall and smiling. Karina comes there and asks that why is Raki smiling. Raki says that Rishabh and Preeta are back from Arjun's house and she wants to know if Arjun forgive them or not. Mahesh comes inside and says that Rishabh and Preeta are not back yet and Raki feels disappointed. Karina tells Raki that Rishabh and Preeta will soon be back, so Raki should just calm down. Raki tells Karina and Mahesh that she wants to invite Arjun for Rishabh and Preeta's marriage anniversary party, but she doesn't have Arjun's phone number. Mahesh finds Arjun's phone number and he sends the phone number to Raki. In Arjun's house, Rishabh continued to apologize to Arjun, but Arjun says that Preeta should be the one to apologize because she made the mistake. Preeta apologized to Arjun, but Arjun tormented Preeta that he did not hear her properly. Preeta remembered again that this is how Karan usually torments her, that he is not hearing her whenever she is talking. Preeta apologized to Arjun again, and Arjun gets emotional hearing Preeta saying sorry to him. Arjun says that it is okay, and he has now forgiven Preeta, so they can build their friendship relationship again. Rishabh thinks that Arjun is behaving like Karan, and Rishabh stands up and thanks Arjun for saving his life. Rishabh hugs Arjun so tightly, and Arjun feels emotional. Arjun's phone begins to ring, and he steps aside to attend to the call. Arjun sees that it is an unknown number, and he picked the call. Arjun gets emotional hearing Raki's voice, and he called her mother, but he quickly corrects himself and asks that who is talking. Raki says that it is his mother that is talking because she considered Arjun to be her son. Raki asks Arjun if Rishabh and Preeta are still there, and Arjun says yes. Raki tells Arjun that Rishabh and Preeta's 5 years wedding anniversary is coming up, so she wants Arjun to attend the party. Arjun looks at Rishabh and Preeta in anger, and he promised Raki that he would come to the party, and he disconnects the call. Arjun asks if Rishabh and Preeta's wedding anniversary is coming up, and Rishabh smiles and says yes. Arjun tells Rishabh and Preeta that he would attend their party for sure because Raki especially invited him. Preeta invites Anjali as well, and Anjali knows that she would attend. Arjun tells Anjali that he is hungry and he asks her to bring apple for him. Preeta remembered that this is how Karan also used to eat apple whenever he is hungry before he eats normal food, and Preeta gets more worried. Rishabh gets a phone call and he goes out to attend to the call. Preeta says that they would meet tomorrow at the party and she moves from there. Arjun keeps looking at Preeta as she was going. Preeta walks towards the door and she turns around and looks at Arjun. Arjun winks at Preeta and Preeta turns back and leaves from there. At the Luthra house, Raki was standing and she gets emotional and she started crying. Mahesh and Karina ask that what happened, that Raki is emotional now. Raki tells Mahesh and Karina that she invited Arjun to the wedding anniversary party of Rishabh and Preeta, and she is happy that Arjun agreed to come. Raki says that she likes Arjun so much. Karina also says that she also likes Arjun. Mahesh suddenly holds his chest, and Raki and Karina get worried, thinking that Mahesh had heart attack, but Mahesh tells them that he is not suffering from heart attack. Mahesh says that he is heartbroken because he understands that Karina likes Arjun, but now his wife has also started having crush on Arjun. Raki smiles and says that Arjun is just like Karan, and he reminds her of Karan every time. Raki gets emotional again, and Karina and Mahesh console her. Meanwhile, Rishabh was on the call and Preeta comes out of Arjun's house, but Preeta was lost in thought. Rishabh noticed that Preeta is lost in thought, and he comes to her. Rishabh asks Preeta that what happened. Preeta says that she is fine, and Rishabh asks Preeta to wait for him while he would turn the car around and pick her up. Preeta was lost in thought standing on the road, and a car was coming ahead, but Preeta couldn't hear the car on, but Arjun comes there and pulls Preeta away from the road just before the car hits Preeta. Preeta looks into Arjun's eyes while he was holding her. Rishabh comes there and asks Preeta if she is fine, and Preeta nods at Rishabh that she is fine. Rishabh thanks Arjun for saving Preeta, but Arjun got angry and he begins to shout at Rishabh, saying that Rishabh is not taking care of Preeta properly. Arjun asks that what would have happened if something had happened to Preeta today. Arjun in anger forgot himself and he begins to talk like Karan, saying that he has always been there saving Preeta from falling, and Rishabh always scolded him that he is childish. But what did Rishabh do today, and where was Rishabh when Preeta was about to have an accident? Preeta and Rishabh were shocked to see and hear the way Arjun was angrily talking to Rishabh like Karan, and Preeta was about to say something, but Rishabh signals to Preeta not to say anything. Arjun comes back to reality and he realized that he had been talking like Karan, and he stops talking. Rishabh thanks Arjun again for saving Preeta, and Arjun goes inside, and Rishabh and Preeta goes into the car. Inside Arjun's house, Anjali tried to talk to Arjun, but Arjun doesn't want to talk to Anjali. Anjali forcefully stops Arjun and asks that why did Arjun got so worried for Preeta, and he saved Preeta's life, and Arjun says that he just did it. Anjali looks at Arjun and says that it looks like Arjun still has feelings for Preeta. Arjun tells Anjali that he doesn't have any feelings for Preeta and he saved Preeta today because he doesn't want to hurt Preeta physically. Arjun says that the only pain he wants to give to Preeta is emotional pain, and if he had let Preeta involve in an accident today, then Preeta would have been at the hospital, and his plan of giving pain to Preeta during a so-called wedding anniversary with Rishabh would not have been possible. Arjun tells Anjali that he used to think that Preeta is a good person, but Preeta was busy planning against him, and Preeta betrayed him, so he would also become Preeta's friend, and he would go close to Preeta, and after that, he would also betray Preeta. So this is why he is saving Preeta and Rishabh, because he has a greater pain for them. Anjali smiles and says that she saw feelings in Arjun's eyes for Preeta, and she got worried, but now she is relieved to know that Arjun is not feeling love for Preeta anymore. Little did Anjali knows that there's nobody that can separate Karan and Preeta. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like this video, share it, and I'll see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.